Hey Oscar, do you know what's on November 11th?
It's my Aunt Joanne's birthday!
Well, happy birthday, Aunt Joanne, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's Veterans Day.
Oh, I'm a little embarrassed about that one, not gonna lie.
Well, don't be. While Veterans Day comes around once a year in November, honoring veterans is something we should do all year long.
True that. You know, Trenton, you seem to know a lot about Veterans Day. Do you think you can tell the next gen viewers and me a little bit more about it?
It would be my honor. So, what is Veterans Day and why is it on November 11th? Well, it all goes back to the year 1918 during World War I. It is said that during the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, an armistice or truce was signed to end the fight between Germany and the Allied powers, aka Great Britain, France, and Russia. Although the peace agreement at the Treaty of Versailles technically ended World War I in June of 1919, November 11, 1918 is seen as the end of the fight and became known as Armistice Day.
Armistice Day? I thought you said it was Veterans Day.
I'm getting there. Although November 11th is still known as Armistice Day in other countries such as France, it has been recognized as Veterans Day since 1954 in the United States. One reason the name has changed was to shift the focus to all veterans, since Armistice Day is connected to World War I specifically. A veteran is considered anyone who served in the military, has been discharged or released from duty. Veterans Day in the United States pays tribute to all American veterans, both living and dead, that served in any branch of the armed forces. So Oscar, do you think you can name all 6 forces of the U.S. military?
Okay. There's the Army, the Air Force, oh, the Navy. Then there's the Marine Corps. The Coast Guard, right.
Yep, but there's one more.
Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard.
It's the Space Force.
What? I never heard of that.
Yeah, the Space Force. It's a newer branch but was established during the Cold War.
Gotta protect the U.S. on Earth and up above, I guess.
Yep. Speaking of the armed forces, we have 2 special veterans that are here to share a bit about themselves and how they honor Veterans Day.
What? No way.
Yep. Let's hear from these heroes now.
Hello, Next Gen viewers. My name is Mike McGuire. I'm a veteran myself, as you can tell from my hat. I joined the Air Force on May 10th, 1970. I was an airman basic when I entered and retired as a major. I had assignments in Florida and Wyoming, South Dakota, California. I served in Vietnam during the Vietnam War at Phuket Air Force Base and Cam Ranh Bay Air Force Base. And next, I'd like to say a few words about Veterans Day and about showing recognition to our veterans. Being in the military is a hard job, and people have made sacrifices. They've left their family, their friends, the homes that they've lived in for a long time to go almost anywhere in the world, and sometimes even in hostile situations. And they made these sacrifices so that you and I and all the people in America can be free. And because of that, I think we should recognize them. So when you see someone wearing a hat, you'd be nice for you to go up to them and thank them for their service. I know when I get thanked, it's just a wonderful feeling, and it makes me so happy. And I'm sure if you would do that, you'd make other people very happy. So with that, I'd like to wish everyone a happy Veterans Day and thank you for viewing.
My name is Reagan Turner. I am a United States Marine Corps veteran. I served for 7 years on active duty from 2003 to 2010. I was an infantry officer in the Marine Corps, which means that I was responsible for leading a platoon of Marines on deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. And then I spent 3 years on the tail end of my service training young Marine officers to become leaders of platoons of Marines. So was a really great opportunity for me. I joined the Marine Corps because I was inspired to serve by one of my college professors and thought that the military was the best way for me to give back to my community, my country. And, that spirit of service is something that I took with me from the military and have now used as a way to look at ways I can continue to make an impact in my life. Veterans Day is important because it serves as a way for all of us to remember and honor the men and women who've served in our nation's uniform, who are still among us and in our communities and still giving back. And it's a way for us to say thank you. It's a way for us to recognize their sacrifice and the way that they've given back to our country, our world, to make it a better place.
Incredible. We want to thank you and honor you and all other veterans for your service, not just on Veterans Day, but every day.
Yes, and one way we can honor you every day is by providing better services for veterans. Did you know that in 2019, veterans made up 11% of the homeless population?
What? No way. So they went to war to protect our country, and then when they returned, our country didn't protect them?
Yep, that's one way to think about it. Many of these homeless veterans experienced mental illness, such as post-traumatic stress disorder, from the atrocities they went through during the war.
That's terrible. Makes me wonder, what can we do to support veterans when they return?
Well, luckily, Reagan is here to tell us more about that. Let's head to him now.
We can support our veterans by honoring their service, by recognizing that they've given of themselves and have unique experiences, unique talents that they can take from their time in the military and continue to make a difference in our community. Many veterans leave their time in service and are very successful going back to school, getting back involved in their communities, the community after the military, and we can all recognize the talents that they have to contribute and to use those talents to make a difference. There are other veterans who have a harder time transitioning, and we can look for ways to ease their transition back, whether it's through ways that they can serve and volunteer in the community as a way to reconnect with organizations like the Mission Continues or Team Rubicon, or we can help them to find what it is that's their next calling in life, if they need to go back to school, and making sure they have the resources to succeed there, or giving them an opportunity to get a new job and to have an experience leading at a company or at a nonprofit organization where they can put their talents back to use. So we have all of these men and women with amazing talents and skills, and it's just important that we recognize that, and that we take the time to learn their story, that we take the time to find ways to connect them with ways that they will know that their time in service was appreciated and made a difference, and that they still have a lot of value left to give to our country.
Thanks for the information, Reagan. It's really helpful for us to know.
Thanks again, Reagan and Big Mike, for being here, and thanks to all the veterans out there for your service.